Winter Olympics are coming, and you know what that means? It means tons of opportunities for people to trip over non-English names. So I'm going to do a series over the next several weeks of how to pronounce some of these names so you don't make a complete mess of them. The Olympics are being held in a location in South Korea, so I'm going to start with some of the names of the venues. Now, South Korea, as a surprise to many people, I'm sure, has a completely different language from English. South Korean not only has different words, it has different sounds making up those words. It's also written with a completely different, although very nicely consistent, writing system. Nobody expects you to be able to read that writing system, but fortunately there's a lovely transliteration of it into the Roman alphabet. The problem, though, with transliterations of a language into an alphabet that wasn't designed for the language is it's a bit like using IKEA parts meant for one bit of furniture to build an entirely different bit of furniture. In this case, we've got the Roman alphabet, which was designed for Latin, which is like an IKEA Hennes desk set, we'll say. And it's being used to render Korean, which is kind of more like kitchen cabinetry, perhaps. Now, we're used to seeing that alphabet being used to render English, which is kind of more like, I don't know, a bedroom set. So it's not just that the bits aren't really being used entirely for what they're designed for in either case. It's that your shelves and boards and brackets and so forth are being used for one thing in one language and another thing in another language. We already know, of course, that there are sounds that other languages have that English doesn't have. For instance, the U and U sounds that you get in a language like German. In English, we're used to having rounded sounds at the back, O and U, and unrounded sounds at the front, E and A. When you've got a rounded sound at the front, U and U, it confuses us. Well, Korean does the other thing. It goes to the back and it makes an unrounded sound. So Korean has an oo sound, but it also has an sound, for instance, which is like saying ooh and then unrounding your mouth. Ooh. How do you render that? Good old E comes in handy. So, for instance, in Korean, if you say U, if you see the letter U, you say oo. If you see EU, it's oo. Likewise, if you say O, it's O. If you say EO, it's O. So, you got that in mind? Now, there are also some differences in the consonants, and I'm just not going to kill you with those. Let's cut straight to the words. The Olympics are being held in Pyeongchang. Got that? Pyeongchang. No, I really don't think you're quite going to get that exactly right. It's going to look to you like it says Pyeongchang. But there's no reason for you to say Pyeongchang. That's like trying to lie on a bed made from IKEA desk parts when you're actually in the kitchen in the cabinets. Why don't you try saying Pyeongchang? That's really awfully close to the Korean. Pyeongchang. It also has a second cluster of venues near the coast called Gangneung. Got that? It's not Gangneung or Gangneung. It's Gangneung. You can probably get close enough by saying Gangneung. Gangneung, Gangneung. It'll do, okay? Now in Gangneung they have a hockey center called Kwandong. It looks like Kwandong. If you say Kwandong, you're going to be close enough. And in Pyeongchang, they have a few locations that you might want to know about. There's the Jeongseon Alpine Center. Got that? Jeongseon. So say Jeongseon. That's close enough. There's the Yongpyong Alpine Center. Got that? Yongpyong. Might look like it should be Yongpyong, but that's a slight variation in the transliteration. Anyway, Yongpyong is not that difficult. And then there's the Bokwang Phoenix Snow Park. But you're lucky there because they're pretty much just calling it the Phoenix Snow Park. So you're a little let off the hook on that. Now I'm going to run over these one more time. The Olympics are being held in Pyeongchang, South Korea. There's a coastal cluster at Gangneung. In Gangneung, there's a Kwandong Hockey Center. In Pyeongchang, there's the Jeongseon Alpine Center and the Yongpyong Alpine Center. And there's the Phoenix Snow Park. Got all that? Aces! Now you're not going to sound like somebody who never ever stepped out of your little corner of North America, even if in fact you never have. So, here's to the Olympics. I'm looking forward to them, and I'm really looking forward to all sorts of extremely interesting mispronunciations, because after all, I'm really a linguist and it's all data, you know?